Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Plunder countless talents, I became a god. Chapter 51. How could Ma Yuan bear this anger? Yang, who is usually obedient and sensible, why did he go crazy today and actually mocked him in public? He immediately rushed up and slapped him hard on the face. But the next moment, Yang's body was directly burning with illusory crimson flames, and then he was kicked away hard. Ma Yuan felt a sudden pain in his stomach, and then his whole body flew up like a cloud. Then he quickly collided with another person, and both of them rolled out under the huge force. When the two people around you saw this terrible scene, they all took half a step back in horror. And as the expression on Yang's face became more ferocious, the illusory red flames on his body also burned stronger and stronger. I told you, come on together. Could this be the power that is circulated on the internet to affect reality only for people with S-level and above talent awakenings? Zhu Dao looked at this scene in disbelief. Yang, didn't you say that you awakened an F-level talent? You lied to us. The expressions of Zhu Dao and another person beside W Yui were a little dull. You must know that their entire school has thousands of students and teachers. None of them have awakened their S-level talents. Why did Yang, the orphan they usually bullied, wake up? This is so unfair. When W Yui saw this scene, his expression was gloomy and he did not panic. After a moment of silence, he spoke, Yang, you've gone too far. We just asked you to help us buy some things, are you going to be so harsh? This is a legal society. Do you think you can do whatever you want after awakening your powerful talent? Yang had already activated his A-level talent, Sin of Anger, at this time. The anger that had accumulated in his heart for a long time began to continuously transform into substantial power and poured into his body. He looked at the serious W Yui with a strange expression, and suddenly burst into laughter. Yang smiled with tears in his eyes. You said I went too far. You talked to me about a society governed by law. When you bullied me before, why didn't you think you went too far? Zhu Dao and Li Xin, W Yui's followers, were already jealous beyond recognition. Why did he awaken a C-level talent, while this orphan could awaken an S-level talent? Zhu Dao said to himself with an ugly expression on his face, impossible. I'm only C-level, why should he be S-level? W Yui was still calm at this time, and he spoke with a gloomy expression, Yang. We did not do the right thing before, and we apologize to you. I'm sorry. We will never bully you again. I'm sorry. Just saying sorry is enough. What happened in the past 2 years is over. Am I stupid, or are you stupid? Yang said emotionally, with illusory red flames on his body. It seemed that it also felt the anger of the host and began to expand continuously. W Yui said coldly, then what do you want? You have gone too far, the school teachers will not ignore it, and even people from the supervision bureau will come over. Are you telling me about the teacher and the inspectorate now? When I was bullied by you, tell the teacher, do you know what the teacher said? The teacher told me not to mess with you. Think about your own problems, flies don't bite seamless eggs. One slap can't make a difference. Ha, that's ridiculous. Have I ever provoked you? There is also the inspection bureau. What's the use of the inspection bureau? If they don't catch you bad guys, why are they coming to catch me? I tell you today, even if the King of Heaven comes, I can't save you. Yang roared with a ferocious expression. With red illusory flames boiling all over his body, he walked towards W Yui and the three people step by step like a demon returning from hell. Zhu Dao and Li Xin, who were walking around, looked particularly ugly at this time. When they saw Yang approaching, they hurriedly said, Brother Yang, we were wrong, let us go. Quote. Yang's expression was unmoved. He slowly walked up to W Yui, looked into his eyes, and growled, W Yui, what about you? If you don't beg for mercy, I will take action. He exploded with strength at this time, except to make the other four surrender. What he desires more in his heart is for the person who bullied him the most to get retribution. Only by kneeling in front of him can W Yui repay the insult and oppression he has suffered for so long. However, what made Yang feel weird was that W Yui didn't have the slightest panic in his eyes when he was threatened by his extraordinary power. Instead, he scolded, Yang, don't go too far. Just stop it. Since you have awakened Gao level talent, then we won't bother you in the future. Hearing these words, the anger in Yang Yang's heart suddenly rose. He roared uncontrollably. That's too much. Did you say it was too much when you slapped me and peed on my head? Before he finished speaking, Yang Yang punched the face that he hated so much. The A-level talent, Sin of Anger, can continuously transform a person's anger into illusory flame of anger within a certain period of time. With the blessing of Flame of Anger, all attributes of those with awakened talents, except intelligence and defense, will be improved. Apart from S-level talents, this is one of the few talents that can directly gain power in reality. Yang Yang has been hiding for many days, and finally broke out today. All the anger that had been accumulated for a long time made him punch at a terrifying speed. But the next moment, his fist was tightly entangled by a green tentacle. Why do you have to push yourself so hard? I didn't want to summon my substitute. Zhou Yu's face, so close at hand, now looked cold and cold. He smiled evilly and said, "Do you think you are the only one hiding your talent level? If I didn't think this substitute was too ugly, I would have killed you long ago." One of Yang Yang's fists was restrained by this strange green tentacle, his expression suddenly changed, and he hurriedly punched out again. But behind Zhou Yu, a green tentacle quickly stretched out again. He locked his other fist firmly. At the same time, Yang Yang felt his feet tighten again and hurriedly looked down. I saw two green tentacles, tightly wrapping around his feet. He relied on his A-level talent, Sin of Anger, to gain several times the strength of an ordinary person. Under these monster-like green tentacles, it actually looks childish and ridiculous. Is this a substitute that only S-level talents can have? Yang Yang, who was originally full of passion, felt his eyes suddenly darken. It was as if a basin of ice water was poured on his heart in the middle of summer. How is it possible? There are thousands of teachers and students in the school, and no one has obtained the S-level talent. He, a perpetrator, has obtained it. Is it true that the Tao is 1 foot higher than the devil? No, God has no eyes. Is it really true that a good person will not pay for his life, causing harm to the future for thousands of years? Why does God want to play this kind of joke on me? He made me awaken an A-level talent that is unique in a million, but he just awakened an S-level talent. At this time, a large number of green tentacles stretched out from Zhou Yu's back, 4 of which tightly entangled Yang Yang. He reached out and patted the face of Yang Yang, who could not move. "Xiao Yang, why are you not crazy? Where is your substitute? Summon it and touch me." Ah! Yang Yang raised his head and roared angrily. The power of his A-level talent, Sin of Anger, exploded again, and all his muscles instantly bulged. Zhou Yu's face changed slightly, and a few green tentacles from his back stretched out again and wrapped around Yang Yang. After he found out the details of Brave, he immediately had a stern look on his face and slapped him hard on the face. "You little bastard, why are you pretending to be a big-tailed wolf with me? It turns out that you are only an A-level talent, and you can't even be a substitute. No, why are you crazy about me? Wow, Brother Zhou, you actually have a substitute, why didn't you tell us earlier? Brother Zhou is mighty, kill this little brat. Awesome, Brother Zhou, why didn't you tell us about your S-level talent? Brother Zhou must have his own ideas, you idiot." This time, Yu had the upper hand and suppressed the arrogant Yang Yang in just a few seconds. Several of his younger brothers immediately came forward, and the 2 people who had just flown out also rubbed their bellies and got up from the ground. Ma Yuan bravely stepped forward and slapped Yang Yang hard on the face, who kept howling. "I'm calling you Ma. You were so awesome when you kicked me just now. Now you can only be here and be incompetent and furious." No, Yang Yang found that no matter how much strength he exerted, he could not break free from the constraints of Zhou Yu, and he suddenly felt desperate. And the flame of anger also began to become weaker due to the disappearance of his anger. Just when several people stepped forward to attack him, a pleasant female voice came from the door. "Who is in there? Why haven't you returned to the dormitory?" The entrance of Suzerain High School. All the students in the school held umbrellas and went out of the school with smiles on their faces, talking to their parents about what happened in the school. Neither the teachers on duty at the door, nor the security guards, nor the students pouring out noticed. A young man with a tall figure and a delicate face, followed by a beautiful girl holding an umbrella, went against the flow of people and walked into the school as if there was no one else around. At this time, the school's teaching building seemed a little quiet as the students left. Only the occasional patrolling teacher passed by. Kaguya held an umbrella and took Lin Luo directly into the teaching building. There was no rain here, just when the talent rainy night was about to lose its shielding effect. Drops of water actually condensed in midair, and slowly fell down again, hitting Kaguya's umbrella. The second ability of S-level talent Rainy Night is activated. At night, it can directly trigger celestial phenomena and create a small rainy area. The two of them walked in the rain all the way to the location of the target in Lin Luo's mind. On the way upstairs, they passed by a patrolling teacher. But the teacher didn't notice them, but suddenly glanced at the ground in front of him in confusion. It's strange, who is playing in the water here? Why are there water stains all over the place? It seems that I need to have a good talk with the class teacher on this floor tomorrow. Yang, who was in despair, heard the female teacher's voice. Suddenly, I seemed to hear the sound of nature, and my eyes showed the light of hope. I believe that no matter how heartless the teacher is, he cannot let them bully him, right? Zhou Yu's face darkened as he heard the sound of high heels walking over quickly. His eyes flickered and he quickly made a decision. Now that the S-class substitute Green Goblin has been exposed, I have nothing to worry about. You are invincible on this campus now. And I am just punishing this Yang. He just hit someone. Soon, a beautiful female teacher wearing a white shirt and hot pants, revealing a pair of long white legs, appeared at the door of the toilet. Why don't you go back? What are you doing in the toilet? Ah. She turned on the light at this time and finally saw clearly a scene in the toilet that she could not understand. Instantly, he fell to the ground in horror and started screaming. Teacher Chen. Zhou Yu frowned fiercely as he watched the other party keep screaming. He immediately controlled the Green Goblin and quickly dragged her into the toilet. Then it wrapped around her mouth so that she could no longer make any sound. Teacher Chen, I will be embarrassed if you do this. Please be quiet first. Don't attract other teachers. Ooh. Chen Xiaojun was bound by the green slippery tentacles and her mouth was gagged, shedding tears of horror. Chen Xiaojun is the English teacher in the next class. She is young and beautiful. I heard that she came in just after graduating from college. She always dresses fashionably and coolly. Even though it is November, she still dresses as if she is in summer. The whole school was envious of the class she taught. She is also the secret admirer of many young boys in the school who are just starting to fall in love. As a student in the class next to her, Zhou Yu is naturally one of them. Every time the English class next door was over, he would deliberately go out and wait, just to take a look at the other class. He didn't expect that it was Chen Xiaojun who came in, which caught him off guard. He couldn't help but soften his tone a little, and came closer to Chen Xiaojun. He warned in a low voice, Teacher Chen, I'm asking my substitute to let you go now, but you can't speak loudly. Do you understand? I will let you go after I punish this Yang. Chen Xiaojun nodded hurriedly. As soon as Zhou Yu let go of her, she persuaded in a low voice, this classmate, this is wrong for you. You can't bully other classmates just because of your talent. Am I bullying him? Zhou Yu said with a sinister look on his face. Teacher Chen, you are mistaken. This kid hit someone first. I was just defending myself. Ma Yuan said hurriedly. Yes, Teacher Chen, he just took advantage of his talent and kicked me away while I was using the toilet. Yes, we can testify that Zhou Yu is just helping to protect us from being bullied by him. Teacher, you misunderstood Brother Zhou. Yang suddenly became anxious when he saw them framing him. But just as he was about to speak, green tentacles wrapped around his mouth, and he could only make a whining sound. Chen Xiaojun was obviously stunned after hearing what these people said. It was obvious that things were different from what she thought. She stood up holding the door next to the bathroom and said softly, if anything happens, you can tell the class teacher. It is wrong to do anything. This classmate, please let him go first, and I will help you. Criticize him. Noisy. Women really talk a lot. Zhou Yu couldn't help but feel irritated after hearing this. He suddenly shouted at Chen Xiaojun, shut up now. I am an S-level talent, and I am a key training target of the country, do you understand? When I report my talent level, I can immediately recommend you to a key university. If you interrupt me again, I'll deal with you. Don't think that just because you are a teacher, I will take you seriously. At this time W Yui has decided to completely expose the stand regardless of the ugly appearance of Green Goblin. He originally didn't like learning, but now that he has confidence, he is no longer afraid of the teacher. The green tentacles behind him stretched out instantly, wrapped around Chen Xiaojun's legs, and directly fused her slender legs to the ground. If you say one more thing, I will shut you up completely. This time Chen Xiaojun didn't dare to talk anymore, for fear of angering this devil. W Yui originally planned to let her watch from the side so that he could teach the ignorant Yang Yang a lesson. But he forgot that Green Goblin's touch was the same as his. At this time, the green tentacles wrapped around Chen Xiaojun's slender white legs. A charming feeling that he had never felt before rose from the bottom of W Yui's heart. He couldn't help but control the Green Goblin on Chen Xiaojun's legs and slowly began to rub them. As a result of this friction, Chen Xiaojun's face immediately turned red. She looked at W Yui with fearful eyes, her lips slightly parted. You, what do you want to do? Chen Xiaojun's eyes, which W Yui was looking at, turned red at some point. He looked at the goddess teacher who once only dared to watch from a distance, and his eyes gradually changed. You guys go out and watch for me. I'm going to punish that bastard Yang Yang. W Yui scolded his little brother, and the four of them immediately walked out of the toilet obediently. And more green tentacles behind him began to quickly reach towards Chen Xiaojun. Lin Luo looked at the toilet in front of him with a puzzled look, where the target in his mind was. Is the girl's scream coming from this direction just now? Go over and take a look. This time his three substitutes all appeared together. Kagaya holds an umbrella beside him to protect him, Black Emperor explores the way ahead, and Lord of Prayer is behind him, ready to activate the power of Book of Wishes. The previous battle with Bai Hongli made Lin Luo understand one thing. That is, do not underestimate any awakened person above S level. Otherwise, even in terms of strength in his own copy, he should be number one in the world now. But it's still possible to capsize in the gutter. As we got closer to the toilet, we could gradually hear strange sounds inside. At this time, 4 male high school students were walking out with excited faces. When they saw Lin Luo, they immediately stopped him and said, "Who are you? Is our brother Joe working inside?" Brother Joe is an S-level awakener. Don't think you can be arrogant by wearing weird clothes. Hurry up and go away, don't disturb Brother Joe's pleasure. Brother Joe, it seems that W Yui is inside. Lin Luo chuckled, and his figure flashed quickly, knocking all 4 of them unconscious instantly, and then he whispered again, I will not be affected by anything in 30 seconds. Any harm. After ensuring that his wish came true, he walked into the toilet with 2 battle avatars without hesitation. What he saw was a boy with a lot of tentacles extending from his back. He was grabbing a high school student and playing with her, a beautiful girl. You just travel around, right? Lin Luo is someone who has seen all kinds of monsters in the future, so he is not surprised to see these scenes. He just asked calmly and with an affirmative tone. Chen Xiaojun, who was gagged and struggling, immediately cast a look at him asking for help. Just when I was about to have a refreshing trip, I saw a strange boy walking in with a girl holding an umbrella and a dark and burly stand-in. The movement of his hand couldn't help but stop, and he said with an ugly face, Who are you? I remember that there are no awakened ones above S level in our school, right? He didn't expect that he had just revealed his talent today and wanted to do something bold. He was obstructed one after another, as if God had trouble with him. However, this person was an S-class awakened person, so he could only treat him with caution. Lin Luo glanced at the 2 people caught by W Yui and said coldly, Don't care who I am, I'll give you 3 seconds to think about my last words. I'm looking good on you, right? When W Yui was bluffed by the aggressive Lin Luo, he immediately became angry and said loudly, I'll give you 3 seconds. If you don't get out, I'll take care of you too. Don't think that you're awesome after awakening your substitute. Who doesn't have a substitute yet? It seems that these are your last words. A smile appeared on Lin Luo's lips, and he shouted coldly, Black Emperor, do it. Before W Yui had time to react, the green tentacles behind him moved first, instantly letting go of the 2 of them, and they all rolled towards the Black Emperor. Ola 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 ola. Ola 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 ola. Black Emperor was naturally not polite. In an instant, countless fist shadows covered him and hit the green tentacles mercilessly. But the next moment, his fist was directly stuck to the green tentacle. And more green tentacles followed, instantly wrapping him around him. Yuya, knife. As soon as Zhou Yu's face showed a happy look, he saw countless cold sword lights flashing in front of his eyes. The tentacles of Green Goblin were all cut off in an instant. And he suddenly discovered that the girl next to this strange man was also a substitute. Kagaya's pretty face was filled with coldness, and countless sword lights bloomed again in an instant. He cut his Green Goblin into pieces, like squid tentacles, and fell to the ground struggling. And Black Emperor also suddenly escaped from the trap. No, wait, I'm still a child. Zhou Yu finally panicked as he looked at the ferocious looks of the two stand-ins. He realized that his substitute was not invincible, and his arrogance disappeared instantly. Stop struggling. You're a worthless idiot like you. You do bad things whenever you have the strength. Sooner or later you'll be arrested by the inspectorate. It's more valuable to die in my hands. Lin Luo said lightly. Zhou Yu hurriedly cried out, "It was this Yang who bullied my brother. I just wanted to protect my brother. Really, I didn't do anything bad." Lin Luo hid behind the two stand-ins, with no emotion in his tone. "Are these your last words? Goodbye then. You are not from the inspectorate, why do you kill me?" Zhou Yu said anxiously with a pale face, "I am a key training target in the country. I will be recommended to a key university in the future. You can't touch me. Teacher Chen, save me. She is actually still your teacher. You dare to do this to your teacher today, and you dare to kill someone tomorrow, and you will deserve to die." Zhou Yu was so excited that he just wanted to hide behind Chen Xiaojun. But he saw the cold and charming girl holding a knife appearing behind him in an instant. Suddenly a line of blood appeared on his neck. Fine blood beads gush out one by one, and then a large amount of blood spurts out like a fountain. After Lin Luo took away Zhou Yu's talent, he left here elegantly under the umbrella of Kagaya. In his previous life, he was killed by a profit-seeking evil person. What he hates the most is people like Zhou Yu who do evil when they have the power. There was no hesitation at all when it came to killing. As for Chen Xiaojun and Yang who saw him take action, there were 4 other people. He didn't care at all, because the inspectorate needed evidence to arrest people. And with the ability of the Lord of Prayer, there will be no other evidence at the scene except witnesses. Nowadays, handling cases requires both witness and physical evidence, and witness is something that Lin Luo can easily solve. "Let's go, Kagaya. I'm done, let's go have a late-night snack." Lin Luo didn't know at this time. His joyful killing also gained him a fanatical fanboy. "Then let's go to KFC. You've never had fried chicken, right? Wow, Master, you are so kind to me. Master, can I eat too? Hee. Oh, Lao Hei, can you eat it too?" "Yes, Master, I like to eat the most." "Okay, let's go and eat together. By the way, Lord of Prayer, do you want to eat?" "Great Master, of course it's okay for me to have a little midnight snack." After Lin Luo walked out of Suzulin High School, before going to have a midnight snack, he first found a deserted place to check out the talents and substitutes he had captured. Open black lens bracket perfect blend close black lens bracket. Grade S. Effect. Extract the essence of any 2 beings and blend them together perfectly, retaining their respective characteristics, lasting for 5 minutes. Cooling time, 1 day. Perfect fusion. This talent does not have a simple and straightforward description like my other 3 talents. The specific effect of use seems to need to be tested through specific experiments, but it is foreseeable that there must be many different ways of use. Lin Luo doesn't plan to try this talent for the time being. After all, the cooldown time is too long. It's better to wait until actual combat before trying it again. Then the next step is the substitute. Green Goblin comes out. In an instant, more than a dozen smooth green tentacles sprouted from his back, dancing freely in the air, like a giant octopus with its teeth and claws. "This feels a bit fresh. It's like I have a dozen more freely retractable arms, and I can even feel the touch. I didn't expect there to be a substitute in this form." Stand-in. Green Goblin. Level. S level. Strength. 110 for normal people. Agility. 100. Intelligence. 2. Defense. 150. HP. 6000. The above are the attributes of a single tentacle. There are 15 tentacles in total. The following are the total attributes of all tentacles. Energy, 200 200ths. Energy recovery speed, 1 point per hour. Growth, 120. Movement distance, 5 meters. Imperfect fusion can temporarily fuse any two existences together. Each fusion consumes 10 energy points. Elastic skin, 50% immunity to damage from blunt weapons, spells and attacks of the same type. Damage from sharp attacks will be increased by 20%. Cooldown. No cooldown time. After reading the attribute panel of Green Goblin, Lin Luo finally understood why Black Emperor had poor effect when it attacked him. It turned out that it was restrained by the ability of Elastic Skin. On the other hand, Kagaya dealt with the opponent in 2 strikes. Not bad. Although the attack power of Green Goblin is not high, it can launch more than a dozen attacks at a time, which is not bad in terms of offensiveness. And it has a special defense bonus for spells, so it is a good substitute. After Lin Luo took back the Green Devil, he took a taxi to the streets in the center of Hangzhou. The strange thing is that there are very few pedestrians on the road to Hangzhou today, and the few that are there look in a hurry. He couldn't help but ask the driver about this unusual thing. But the driver asked him in surprise, "Brother, didn't you read the official announcement? I should have also sent you a text message. The official reminded us that around 9 o'clock today, it is best for everyone to go home and not go out. After I see you off, I am also going to go home. I don't know what will happen." Oh, is this happening? Lin Luo turned on his phone and found that this official notice was also forwarded on major platforms. It was indeed no different from what the driver said. The official did not elaborate on the specific reasons. Did this happen in the past life? It's a pity that on this day in his previous life, he was locked up in the supervision bureau because he beat his supervisor and he didn't know what was happening outside. Little brother, you should go home early and don't hang around outside. Yeah, okay, thank you, fine. The center of Hangzhou was strangely empty of people today. Lin Luo took 3 stand-ins and walked into KFC nonchalantly. Anyway, it would not be too late to go home after eating. No matter what big thing happened, he was not afraid. What do you want to eat? He took out his cell phone and asked his 3 stand-ins. Kagaya suddenly poked her little head over and looked at it curiously. Master, give me some. I'll eat whatever you eat. Black Emperor's big head also came over, and he smiled naively. Master, they all look good. Give me a piece of each. Lin Luo was amused by him. Fortunately, I have a lot of money now, otherwise I wouldn't be able to support a big guy like you. What about you? Lord of Prayer, what do you want to eat? The Lord of Prayer closed the Book of Wishes, stood reservedly on the edge, and said respectfully, Master. I heard that humans like to eat something called ice cream, and I am more interested in this. Okay, I'll order it then. Lin Luo first selected everything on the KFC list, then ordered 3 portions of his favorite food, and then added an extra chocolate sundae. Wait a minute, since there are many Space Crystal locations, why not stock up on some supplies? I remember that half a year later, global supplies began to become tense. And the food put into the Space Crystal will always stay at the moment before it was put in. Freshly baked KFC will be a scarce item in the future. Then order 1,000 more spicy burgers that I like. No, I'll get tired of eating this flavor all the time. 300 old Beijing chicken rolls, 300 spicy burgers, 200 tender beef cubes, 100 cod burgers, and 400 cups of Coke. Anyway, 99 copies of ordinary items other than equipment in Space Crystal can be stacked in one space grid. No matter how much this kind of food is, there is room for it. However, Lin Luo discovered that in this app interface, you can only choose a maximum of 99 items for each item. Now you can only choose them all once, which is good to prevent you from getting bored. With the order confirmed, more than 30,000 yuan was paid directly. But for Lin Luo now, it's just a drop in the bucket. Sir, did you place the wrong order? At this time, the young waitress from KFC came over, looked at these 4 strange-looking people, and asked with a strange look on her face. 99 of each kind is too exaggerated, right? Lin Luo smiled and said, That's right. There are many people in my family. The waitress said, I'm sorry, sir. We don't have that much stock here. Lin Luo thought for a while and said, just make as many servings as you can. If you don't have enough, you can use other types of food, such as spicy chicken wings or finger-licking original chicken. By the way, give us a few of the ones that are ready first. Eat one portion and pack the rest. The waitress could only nod helplessly and turn to leave. When she returned to the back of the KFC kitchen, she couldn't help but complain, I'm dizzy. I thought I could relax a little bit today, but then there was such a big order, which really exhausted us. Along with the delicious burger set, various fried chicken drinks and ice cream were served. Black Emperor reached out and grabbed a burger without ceremony, without even peeling off the outer wrapping paper, and stuffed it into his mouth. He chewed it twice with a satisfied look on his face, and then reached for another burger. This scene made Lin Luo's eyes jump. Kagaya and Lord of Prayer should be more normal. One was eating hot wings in small bites, and the other was eating ice cream with a spoon, with an expression of happiness and enjoyment on his face. While the four of them were enjoying the delicious supper, Kagaya's kitten-like expression suddenly turned cold, and she reminded her in a low voice. Master. No, you see it's foggy outside. Hearing this, the other three people immediately stopped at the same time and looked outside the transparent glass of KFC. I don't know when it started, but nothing could be seen outside the glass, only thick white mist remained. Lin Luo always felt that this white mist seemed familiar. He thought about it carefully and suddenly exclaimed, isn't it right? Didn't the rat-level disaster start 7 days after the National Awakening? Why did it start on the second night? It's not that he's afraid. Rat-level disasters are nothing to him now. You can even gain a lot because of the profit. The real reason for his exclaim is that history has actually changed due to unknown reasons. Lin Luo put down the half-bitten spicy chicken wings and began to recall the details of this rat-level disaster in his past life. Rat-level disaster does not refer to rat disaster. Rather, it refers to a densely packed population like mice. The world's first wave of rat-level disasters, another dimensional insect plague. He knew very well that it was not just this KFC store that was caught in the white mist, but the whole world. Now, countless Zerg invaders must have begun to invade all over the world. Most of these Zerg are not strong against the torrent of guns and modern steel. But for ordinary people who are not strong, it is very fatal. Hey, when did it get so thick fog outside? The waiter who came over to deliver the meal turned around and was about to walk back when he suddenly discovered that the outside of the transparent glass was already completely white. Bang, bang. Suddenly there were 2 loud bangs on the glass, startling the waiter. And when she took a closer look, what hit the glass was actually 2 extra-large locusts. The future is changed. On the balcony of a villa in Wuling No. 1, a high-end community in Hangzhou. Yu Taiji looked at the thick white fog that made him unable to see his fingers outside, with a thoughtful look in his eyes. Is this the rat-level disaster you're talking about? Kitaru, who possesses the SS-level talent Emperor's Eye, walked out from behind him with a solemn expression. As the balcony door opened, there was even a thick white mist spreading into the room. Lao Yu, this white mist shouldn't be poisonous, right? It's too thick. It's much better if you breathe it in. A frivolous male voice sounded next in the white mist. What are the Zerg like? Are they strong? I feel that there is a powerful special life form approaching in the distance. This feeling does not look like an animal or a human being. It should be the Zerg you mentioned. 2 other male voices sounded immediately. It's just that the 5 people were already in the fog on the balcony. Even though they were not far apart, they couldn't see each other clearly for a while and could only communicate through sounds. Yu Taiji was silent for a while, then suddenly came to his senses, with a look of sudden realization on his face. He looked in a certain direction in the white mist and murmured, I understand. It turns out that the appearance of the first second-level player in the world heralds the arrival of the first wave of rat-level disasters. No wonder, in the original timeline, the first second-ranked player was 6 days after the National Awakening, and yesterday the Black Emperor turned second, so the first wave of rat-level disasters was also advanced. Keitero's voice sounded again. You mean the Black Emperor who took away part of your power changed history? That's right. Yu Taiji frowned. Lao Yu, first tell us the information about this wave of rat-level disasters. The frivolous voice said indifferently. Okay. This first wave of rat-level disasters was later officially named the extra-dimensional insect disaster. Various weird and ferocious Zerg species appear all over the world, posing a huge life threat to ordinary people. Some bugs are quite mild and will not actively attack humans. But more than 95% of them are aggressive towards humans, and once unarmed ordinary people encounter them, they basically have no ability to resist. In the original history, it took China 15 days to deal with this wave of disasters. Now, the disaster has been brought forward, but the time it should take is not much different. This wave of disasters is a disaster for ordinary people, but for people like us who have awakened powerful talents, it is a huge fortune. Although you can't get equipment by killing the Zerg, you can get 4 times the experience value. When we all reach level 20 and complete the second transformation, it's time to find the Black Emperor. As for what the Zerg are like, you will be able to see it soon. Yu Taiji felt the approaching crisis in the fog, and a smile of complete control appeared on his face. He did not follow his original plan and go find his former teammates first. Instead, he went directly to find the strongest people in the original history of Hangzhou. Returning to this era, he wants to build a top team. Today, 4 of his teammates. There are 3 SS-level talents among them, and 1 is a rare SSS-level talent like him. Returning to this era, he wants to build a top team. Today, 4 of his teammates. There are 3 SS-level talents among them, and 1 is a rare SSS-level talent like him. I believe that when they all grow up, they no longer need to be afraid of the mysterious and terrifying illogical tribe. Help, help, there are bugs outside, help my child. The door of KFC was suddenly opened, and a young woman burst into tears, holding a child covered in blood, and rushed in embarrassment. The equally panicked waiter instinctively rushed forward to help. Don't panic, I'll call Yao Erling right away. The young woman choked and nodded, then her feet softened and she fell to the ground. The child in her arms was about 2 or 3 years old, and his face was pale without any color. The neck seemed to have been bitten by some ferocious beast, and it was bleeding gurglingly. Even though the child's mother had wrapped it in a coat, it still couldn't stop it. What's going on? Why is there no signal on the phone? The waiter just took out his mobile phone from the studio and wanted to call for help, but was horrified to find that the phone could not make any calls at all. Bang, 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 bang. At this moment, several loud noises were heard in succession. The 2 of them looked back. I was horrified to find that at some point, several giant locusts had stopped on the transparent glass. And a larger, ferocious shadow was constantly moving in the white mist outside. As if looking for a way in. Ah, ah, ah. The 2 women screamed at the same time, and the waitress forgot to help at this time and fled back to the kitchen. The woman who fell to the ground was trembling with fear, and a pool of yellow liquid slowly flowed out between her legs. Several waiters in the kitchen heard the noise outside and came out to take a look. They were frightened and ran back quickly. Bang, 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 bang. As if hearing their voices, the huge shadow outside instantly hit the transparent glass. At this moment, the people inside finally saw its true face. The thing that keeps hitting the glass is actually a spider head as big as a human head. There are 2 scarlet compound eyes on the spider's head, and a ferocious bloody mouth below, which is constantly flowing out green liquid. No, no, no. The young woman who fell to the ground shook her head in horror, holding her child in her arms and moving her body back. Suddenly, she felt something hit her back. When she looked back, she saw a young man with a smile on his face, handing her 3 test tubes filled with red liquid. Give your child to drink it. This is the blood-restoring potion brought from the dungeon. 3 tubes should be enough to treat your child's injuries. Thanks, thanks. The young woman seemed to be infected by the man's smile, and her mood became slightly more stable. Then, she saw 3 people with strange shapes, as if they were cosplaying, slowly walking up to her. The tall figure stood in front of her, which seemed to give her some sense of security at this moment. After she calmed down a little, she hurriedly poured the test tube containing the red liquid into her child's mouth. Lin Luo walked to the KFC counter and shouted to the people inside. Stand up and work. I will deal with the bug monsters outside. Do you hear me? If you are lazy, I will throw you out to feed the bugs. After making sure they start working again, Lin Luo took 3 stand-ins and walked directly to the door. Don't go, there are bugs outside, it's very dangerous. When the young woman saw her benefactor, She actually wanted to go out, so she quickly stopped him loudly. Don't worry. A mere insect infestation can be eliminated with a snap of the fingers. Lin Luo turned around and smiled slightly, took out the guardian short blade directly from the space crystal and then opened the store door without looking back. I said, the direction I'm going in is within a 10-meter radius. The white fog has cleared. The power of the Book of Wishes in the hand of Lord of Prayer is activated instantly. The white fog within 10 meters outside the KFC store was forced back in an instant. With the broadening of horizons, the Zerg that hit the glass also showed its true form. Hiss. Its ferocious spider head fangs were spread out, making a tentative warning sound. Its entire body is gray-white, with some dark red mixed in between. There are 4 slender limbs on the left and right, which support the oval-shaped flat body. When it stands, it is as tall as an adult. Where's your horse? Die. Lin Luo sneered, without using the substitute at all. He just waved the guardian short blade casually, and a flying wind sword gang instantly cut it in half. Suddenly, a large amount of green liquid spurted out from the giant spider monster's severed body, splashing on the ground and making a corrosive, hissing sound. The 2 halves of its body fell to the ground, still twitching unconsciously. Congratulations, player. You killed a level 7 long-legged spider monster and gained 640 experience points, 400% disaster experience bonus, wish. 100 battles, 200% experience bonus. That's right, facing all monsters that invade reality, you will not get additional equipment and props after killing them, but you will get 4 times the experience value accordingly. In addition, only by using cold weapons or equipment skills brought back from the copy to kill monsters can you gain experience points. Using thermal weapons does not gain any experience points. After disasters such as past lives, some people speculate on the internet. This is a mechanism to train humans themselves, while killing monsters with thermal weapons is judged as cheating and is not supported. And as the long-legged spider monster gradually stopped struggling, several more large locusts flew out of the mist. But before they got close to Lin Luo, they were instantly cut into pieces by Kagaya. Congratulations, player. Your substitute Kagaya killed the level 3 giant locust and you gained 64 experience points, 800% experience value bonus. His. After the locusts, 2 huge figures began to appear in the white mist, which were the same Zerg long-legged spider monsters as before. Unlike the vigilant long-legged spider monster, more giant locusts soon flew out of the white mist. They seemed not to be afraid of Kagaya's killing at all, just like moths flying into the flame. It seems like this place is like a lighthouse, constantly attracting them in the fog. Lin Luo glanced at the brightly lit KFC store behind him and suddenly understood. Phototaxis. Although these bugs are mutated, they are still similar to the bugs on Blue Star. Experts from previous lives also concluded this after the disaster ended and global communications were restored. It's just for exercise after dinner. After they pack up all the KFC I want, I will remind them to turn off the lights. Now, Kagaya, Black Emperor, let's do it. Let us protect the delicious KFC. The 2-story high Zerg, which looks like a mantis, is roaming freely in Wulin number 1 community in Hangzhou. It didn't seem to notice the balcony nearby. There were 5 tiny humans looking at it with curiosity on their faces through the thick fog. Wow, is this a fusion of an alien and a mantis? It's a bit bluffing. Master Lu, your Sky Eye talisman is pretty good. It actually allows us to see monsters clearly through the fog. Why didn't you take it out earlier? Lao Yu, this Zerg is so big, how much experience will you get if you kill it? Alien Hunter should be a level 12 garbage monster. But our level is low now. After killing it, we will get a bonus for killing monsters beyond the level. Plus 4 times the experience value, it should be quite a lot. Haha, you don't sound cool. We are only at level 5 or 6 on average, but you actually said that level 12 people are garbage monsters. You are worthy of being someone who came back from the future. No, why is there anyone who hasn't gone home yet? Look, there's a woman wandering around in the mist, and she's about to run into an alien hunter. Don't worry, didn't you notice that Lu Tianxi has gone? Let's go too. This disaster is a rare channel for us to quickly escalate. As long as we make use of the phototaxis of these Zerg, we will be able to continuously spawn monsters. Of course, our own power is too weak now, so we must pay attention to the energy of the substitute. Once it's not enough, you have to immediately hide in the villa and rest. Shu Kei works at Hangzhou Wuyu Media and is one of the new screenwriters. Naturally, she also saw the official notice. But I got home a little late today because I was shooting a video, and I didn't expect to be trapped in the fog. Fortunately, the fog is thick. But she was already very familiar with the way home, and she was leaning against the wall and slowly heading towards home. Hey, what's the matter? There's no cell phone signal, and there's such a heavy smog. Fortunately, I'm not far from home. Just go home and take a bath. This smog is sticky. Just as Shu Kei was complaining in a low voice, she suddenly felt a heavy breathing coming from behind her head, which instantly made the hairs on her body stand up. She slowly looked back and saw a huge black bullet-shaped monster head slowly approaching her. Ah, 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 ah. Shu Kei's liver and gallbladder split instantly and he screamed violently. This scream seemed to frighten the monster, and it instantly shrank back into the white mist. However, the huge black shadow that was vaguely visible in the fog had completely enveloped Shu Kei. After a brief period of calm, two sharp black shadows instantly broke through the fog and slashed at Shu Kei, who was lying on the ground. A strong wind blew. She closed her eyes reflexively. But the severe pain did not hit when Shu Kei boldly opened his eyes. She saw a figure wearing a green Taoist robe, who had already stood in front of her at some point. The two dark and sharp, sickle-like forelimbs were firmly grasped by his slender hands. Even this robed figure still had the energy to turn around. He showed a handsome and cynical smiling face. Beautiful lady, you are safe now. The poor Taoist Lin Luo is a contemporary heavenly master. The giant locusts flying out of the mist seemed to be endlessly killing them. Long-legged spider monster, however, after killing a few of them, it overcame its phototaxis instinct and did not dare to get too close to this place anymore. Kagaya, Black Emperor, you are outside cleaning up the approaching Zerg. I'll go in and see if our KFC is packed. Lin Luo watched his experience bar rising slowly, calculated the time, gave instructions to the two stand-ins, turned around and walked back to the store. The young woman's child, after drinking the advanced life restoration potion, has recovered from his injuries, looks much better, and is sleeping in her arms. The young woman saw him coming in and hurriedly came over to thank him. Lin Luo waved his hand and said no, then walked directly to the counter and put the packed KFC bags into the space crystal while they were still hot. In the chaotic era to come, this precious material will be very expensive. Although that era did not come so soon. But if you want to eat it at ordinary times, you can just take it out and eat it instead of having to go all the way to buy it. Space crystal is good at this point. If you put it in hot, it will still be hot when you take it out. It is simply a magical tool for collecting supplies. After taking them all, Lin Luo called out several waiters and warned solemnly, I'm afraid no one will come to rescue you in the next 10 days or so. The outside is full of these bugs that can eat and bite people. You must not go out. Just wait here for rescue. As long as you keep the food and drink in the store simple, it should be enough for you to survive. After I leave, you should put out the lights immediately. Or find a way to cover the glass with something. The light will attract the Zerg in the fog, like a beacon for them. Ordinary Zerg are not strong enough to break this glass, but if you are unlucky and attract the more terrifying Zerg from the fog, you will be in trouble. Don't take chances. When the young woman saw that he had finished speaking, she was about to turn around and leave. She hurriedly grabbed his arm and begged, can you take me with you? My child is still young and cannot eat these things. Please, take me with you. The phone here can't be reached now, and my husband will be nervous too. Seeing this, the other two young waitresses also hurriedly said, Sir, please take us with you. We promise not to cause trouble. There was no hesitation in Lin Luo's eyes, and he refused directly, you are waiting for rescue here. Believe in Hua Sha, it will only be more dangerous for you to follow me. As for your children, this is a special period, so don't ask for so much. He struggled to break away from the young woman's pull, pushed the door open and went out, joined the two stand-ins, and then went deep into the mist without any hesitation. As he left, the fog outside the glass covered it again. Each giant locust also stopped on the glass again, crawling continuously, seeming to be looking for an entrance. Quick, quick, listen to him and put out all the lights first. Can we really be saved? This is the center of the city. Someone will come to save us soon. Lin Luo waited outside the fog for a while, killing the approaching large Zerg one by one. When he confirmed that the lights in the KFC store were turned off, he walked away with peace of mind. The Heavenly Lord reveals his Holy Spirit. Lu Yu exerted force with both arms, pushing back the sharp forelimbs of the alien hunter and then performed a Taoist secret with his hands. An old man with a majestic look on his face suddenly appeared behind him, holding a treasure in his hand. I saw that jade Rui in the old man's hand lightly waved, and the huge alien hunter in the mist was instantly crushed to the ground by an invisible force. Damn it, now that I haven't inherited the power in the game, I can only use the energy of the substitute to kill monsters by force. Lu Yu felt the behemoth struggling, and muttered in distress. Haha, Master Lu Tianxi, don't just swallow the experience all by yourself. Let me help you. Emperor's eyes. Life and death. Just when he was thinking about a solution, a cheerful voice sounded in the fog. Choo choo choo. The alien hunter, who was suppressed by Lu Yu, suddenly let out a loud scream, and then quickly lost his reaction. When Shu Ke was confused, he saw 4 slender figures appearing in the mist again. I saw confident and calm smiles on their faces, as if the danger in the fog was not worth mentioning to them. Keitaro, your behavior of grabbing experience is not good. Lu Tianxi laughed and cursed, and punched Keitaro hard in the chest. Keitaro quickly smiled and apologized. Behind them, Zhen Fan, who was wearing a long black windbreaker, came over curiously and asked, by the way, Dawei, didn't you say that your substitute can only suppress monsters? How can you kill monsters directly? Keitaro smiled mysteriously and said, everyone has their own secrets, don't you? Zhen Fan laughed, since this monster is dead, I believe you don't mind if I use it for a while, right? Oh, the other 4 people suddenly looked at him with confusion and curiosity in their eyes. Apparently they didn't know much about his talents and stand-in abilities. Only Yu Taiji had a thoughtful expression on his face. Seeing that the few people had no objections, Zhen Fan immediately walked into the fog and slowly walked to the body of the alien hunter. Regarding this ferocious monster, he seemed to have seen some kind of treasure on his face. He whispered softly, for your king, stand up again. In this bewitching voice, the shadow under the corpse of the huge dead alien hunter began to twist and struggle like a living creature. Then he emerged directly from the ground and transformed into a black alien hunter, then bowed his head and knelt down in front of Zhen Fan. If you look carefully, you will find that there is no shadow under the huge body of the dead alien hunter. It's like being deprived of some kind of power. And through the sky-eye talisman and through the white mist, the 4 people who saw this scene twitched slightly at the same time. Is this the SS-level talent, Shadow King? Yu Taiji smiled bitterly in his heart. His 4 new teammates were really buggy. Lin Luo hummed a little tune and walked on the way home contentedly. Kagaya and Lord of Prayer walked on both sides of him, while Black Emperor was suspended in front to explore the way. As he moved forward, the white fog within a 10-meter radius automatically receded, leaving a clear path for him. This wish does not seem to be difficult and does not consume much energy. It takes about 10 minutes to consume a little energy. This doesn't matter at all to Lin Luo, who now has a large number of God-given crystal fragments and is wealthy. Along the way, there were Zerg attracted by the noise, but they were instantly dispatched by the 2 battle avatars. The world's first wave of rat-scale disasters. Generally speaking, the monsters that appear in the interdimensional insect plague are equivalent to the level 1 to 20 monsters in the dungeon. It is said that there are only a few terrifying Zerg monsters that are difficult to deal with, but later, after humans found their weaknesses, they were finally eliminated completely. Lin Luo remembers the past life that was published online. These Zerg races, no matter they are strong or weak, big or small, all have the same weakness, which is that they are afraid of fire. On the way home, Lin Luo, who had been leisurely, suddenly felt his heart skip a beat for no apparent reason. For some reason, an inexplicable nervousness surged into his heart. He immediately looked around nervously at the thick fog 10 meters away, but found nothing. Wait, I remember this is the direction of Sister Wen's house. Because he had experienced too many things in the past 3 years, and the white fog covered a large area of the road. Lin Luo looked at the street within 10 meters to the right, and suddenly remembered that Wen Yuqi's home was nearby. If his brother Zhou Shengdong is the most important man in his life, there is no doubt that Wen Yuqi is one of the most important women in his life. His brother once went to Wen Yuqi's house to steal things, but was later arrested by the inspectorate. Wen Yuqi's family heard the story of their brothers. Not only did he not scold them, but he sympathized with them and often visited Lin Luo in the orphanage, buy him food and drinks, and even take him out to play on weekends. This also prevented Lin Luo from completely falling into the darkness of despair after losing his only relative, his brother. Instead, I regained a glimmer of new light and hope. It can be said that the appearance of his brother Zhou Shengdong allowed him to survive and have a sound outlook on life. And the appearance of Wen Yuqi's family. It gave him hope and motivation to continue living after losing his brother. In his previous life, after he graduated from college and started an internship, he was arrested by the inspectorate for assaulting his supervisor. After he came out, the world changed drastically. He was disliked by various employers because of his criminal record, couldn't find a job, and his ability to clear dungeons was weak, so he could only make ends meet. Wen Yuqi's family occasionally helped him at first, but later due to various things, they gradually stopped interacting with him. Finally, when the era of chaos came, the two sides completely lost contact. In his last life, he had to hide his love for Wen Yuqi in his heart because of his low self-esteem. But now, he has completely transformed. He is no longer the humble young man who needs help, rescue, and assistance. He is fully capable of protecting Wen Yuqi's family and repaying them. His brother had told him since he was a child that a drop of kindness should be repaid by a spring. Although according to the original history, Sister Wen should have survived this disaster safely. But no matter what, let's go and take a look first. Lin Luo thought for a moment and immediately changed the direction of travel. The streets were empty along the way, with nothing but thick fog and various weird zerg species. Occasionally, the chirping of insects and the screams of residents could be heard in the distance. It seems that China must have known some news in advance, and the notification was very thorough. Everyone is hiding at home, and only a small number of people at work may be in danger. Just as Lin Luo was thinking this, he suddenly heard the cry of Black Emperor coming from the front. "Master, there is someone here," Black Emperor shouted, and his figure quickly rushed into the mist. Lin Luo also reacted, his heart tightened, and he immediately ran forward. I saw an unrecognizable corpse lying on the ground not far away. Judging from the dress and general body shape, I could tell that it was an urban white-collar woman. Next to her body, there were several zerg corpses beaten to death by the Black Emperor. Lin Luo's face darkened, he walked quickly to her side, squatted down and checked. I saw that this woman's clothes were in tatters, her face was completely bloody, and there were traces of being eaten by the zerg everywhere. Even if her biological father and mother came over, they probably wouldn't be able to recognize her. Hopeless. Lin Luo shook his head and stood up again. If you were still walking on the street at this time, you would really have a narrow escape. Ordinary people who have not awakened powerful combat talents or inherited the power in the copy. Even if you encounter a few zerg that are less than level 5, they are definitely no match. Wait, if history changes because of my rebirth, then if Sister Wen Yuqi doesn't return home in time today, there will be trouble. Damn it, I have to hurry up. I hope Sister Wen Yu will be safe. Lin Luo suddenly thought of a bad possibility, and his face immediately turned ugly. He immediately turned around and ran quickly in the direction of Wen Yuqi's house. Who? In a 24-hour convenience store, the clerk looked at the giant locust on the ground that he had fought so hard to kill, and cold sweat continued to flow from his forehead. Outside the transparent glass door, countless giant locusts were already densely crawling. How to do. In addition to him, there were 2 other customers who escaped inside the convenience store. At this time, he was hiding in the corner. And this giant locust also flew in after them when they escaped before. Yuqi, what should we do? We can't get out, and there's no cell phone signal. If I had known better, I wouldn't have bought milk tea. A girl wearing a down jacket, a JK skirt and thick black stockings, asked her friend with a look of horror on her face. Don't be afraid, Wenwen. People from the inspectorate will definitely come to save us. Wen Yuqi, who was wearing a long red windbreaker, hugged her best friend Yang Kaiwen tightly. Today, my best friend came to her house to play, but Yang Kaiwen wanted to buy milk tea in a nearby shopping mall. Although Wen Yuqi tried her best to dissuade her, Yang Kaiwen couldn't resist Yang Kaiwen, saying that there were still many people working outside, and foreign countries only reminded them that there was no martial law, not to mention that they were so close to the shopping mall and could definitely get back in time. When I came back, there were no taxis on the road, so I had to walk home quickly. Unexpectedly, halfway through, the thick white mist that spread everywhere completely engulfed the two of them. The terrifying giant insect that appeared in the white mist scared the two of them into panic and ran away. Fortunately, luck was good. The two of them spotted the bright light in the thick white fog and immediately rushed in. Unfortunately, although the two of them were safe, they were trapped here. After the clerk Meidaji calmed down his breathing a little, he quickly hid behind the counter. At this time, the three of them lost their mobile phone signal and completely cut off contact with the outside world. I can only chat casually to get rid of the fear in my heart. Wen Yuqi and Yang Kaiwen chatted for a while and got tired. Soon they leaned on each other and stopped talking. They didn't notice that Meidaji's eyes gradually changed when he looked at them. Meidaji looked at Yang Kaiwen sitting weakly on the ground. Her slender legs in black stockings seemed to be full of magical temptation for him. It's the end of the world, and I'm still a virgin. No. Now we are the only ones left, one man and two women. Or two beauties. It seems like this is God's arrangement. Hey hey. Bang, bang, bang. Sister Wen, are you at home? Lin Luo arrived at the door of Wen Yuqi's house in a blink of an eye, and immediately knocked on the door without hesitation. As long as he was sure that their family was safe, he could go back to sleep peacefully. Footsteps soon sounded inside the door, and then as the door opened, a familiar and anxious female voice sounded. Is Yu Si back, Xiao Lin? The person who opened the door was a middle-aged woman who still retained her charm. She was Wen Yuqi's mother Li Junji. There was an anxious look on her face at first, and when she saw him outside the door, she showed surprise again. Lin Luo was so excited when he saw his benefactor whom he had not seen for many years that he immediately grasped the key to her words and asked hurriedly, Aunt Li, isn't Sister Wen at home? Li Junji said with a worried look on her face, yes. Yuqi and her friends took a taxi to Yintai to buy milk tea more than an hour ago, but they haven't come back yet. Now the white fog is filling the air outside. It's impossible to get out, and the mobile phone signal is gone. What should I do? Lin Luo had a bad premonition in his heart and said hurriedly, Auntie, don't be nervous. I'm going to find Sister Wen now. You promise me not to go out no matter what noise you hear. Don't open the window. Li Junji was helpless at this moment, looking at the humble young man she had helped. Now it seems that some kind of transformation has occurred unknowingly and he has become a mature and reliable man. Okay, Xiaolin, you must be careful. Lin Luo closed the door, with an evil look in his eyes, and rushed into the thick white mist. His toes were a little bit on the ground, and the short blade in his hand danced, and a dozen cyan fish-like flying wind sword gang instantly formed, as if they turned into wings, allowing him to soar into the sky in an instant. There is no time to care about mana consumption at this point. Faster, faster, don't let anything happen. Hehehehe, it's the end of the world now, and there are only 3 of us left in the world. With a lewd smile on his face, Meidaji slowly approached the 2 trembling beautiful girls sitting in the corner. What do you want to do? Wen Yuqi stood up from the ground and stared at him with an unkind expression. Meidaji spread his hands and said, there are so many bugs outside now, and they may rush in at any time. Just now, there was a bigger monster hitting the glass door. We may die at any time, so of course we have to enjoy ourselves in time. Why don't we have some fun together before we die? Are you sick? You don't even pee to show what you look like. Who wants to be happy with you? Yang Kaiwen also stood up and cursed angrily. She originally thought that having a man would be more reliable and give her a little more security. Unexpectedly, not long after the danger was resolved, this man would become the biggest danger. Meidaji couldn't help but look grim after being scolded like this. He immediately retorted. Humph, I am not good looking, but now that the world is ending, I may be the only man left in the world. Even if you are the only man left in the world, I still won't look down on you. Yang Kaiwan didn't give him any face at all and said angrily. Meidaji seemed to be insulted by these words. Although he stopped approaching the two of them, his face gradually turned pale. Wen Yuqi was obviously calmer. When she saw the change in the other person's face, she immediately said, "These bugs look scary, but I believe someone will come to save us soon." The Chinese official has sent a reminder before, and they must be aware of this disaster. Already prepared. Brother, please calm down first. Don't look at it now. Although there are two of them, the other person is a strong man. There is absolutely no benefit in offending him rashly. The expression on Meidaji's face became slightly calmer after hearing this. Of course he understood in his heart how could the world be destroyed so easily. He was just looking for a reason to do bad things to himself. Bang, bang, just as the three of them were in a stalemate, a loud noise suddenly came from the glass wall again, and a huge black figure was seen wandering in the thick white mist. Every impact smashed a giant locust into a puddle of yellow-green flesh, sticking to the glass in a sticky manner. Ah, ah, Yang Kaiwan screamed instantly. The other two people also leaned nervously against the back of the container. The giant locusts that quickly landed on the glass were all smashed into pulp, but this also slightly blocked the light in the convenience store. The huge black shadow also left. Hoo ho ho, ho ho ho. For a moment, the convenience store quickly fell silent, except for the rapid breathing of the three people. Wait until the danger is determined to be gone. Meidaji looked at Yang Kaiwan's beautiful face and her slender legs again. The fear of monsters in his heart accelerated the growth of sin in his heart. He pushed Wen Yuqi away and rushed towards Yang Kaiwan. What are you doing? Ah! The delicate Yang Kaiwan was caught off guard and was pushed into the corner by Meidaji. Wen Yuqi, who was pushed away, immediately rushed over and tried to pull him away. Damn it, little girl, don't come in the way of your uncle's good deeds. Meidaji turned around impatiently and pushed Wen Yuqi hard. The force suddenly pushed her so hard that she fell and hit the corner, and fainted instantly. Yang Kaiwan was so frightened that her face turned pale. She no longer had the arrogance she had just now, and she screamed, "Help! What do you want to do? Of course I love you well." Meidaji choked her neck so hard that she could no longer make a sound. Little girl, stop screaming. Even if you scream until your throat is broken today, no one will come to save you. You'd better enjoy it. Lord of Prayer, tell me the location of Wen Yuqi immediately. I said she will not be in any danger until I find her. Lin Luo yelled and made a wish as he hurried on. After confirming that his wish came true, he felt more at ease. Soon the location of Wen Yuqi appeared in his mind. 3 minutes. It only takes 3 minutes to arrive. Wait for me. Yang Kaiwan was pushed into the corner, desperately trying to resist, but was powerless. She felt an unpleasant stench of men's sweat that made her feel sick and nauseous. She desperately tried to resist, but because her neck was being strangled, it became increasingly difficult to breathe and her strength became weaker and weaker. Finally, she fainted in despair. Meidaji felt that she was no longer resisting, and when he looked carefully, he saw that she had closed her eyes and fainted. He couldn't help but become more excited, and directly let go of her neck, letting her fall to the ground softly. Meidaji calmed his breathing slightly, admiring his trophies like a winner. This pretty little girl understands men better. Meidaji slapped his mouth. He immediately stopped hesitating and was ready to take action. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.